Welcome to another episode of the Loafing Around podcast, a podcast where we talk about all things Pokemon, and each week I am joined by a unique guest that is known in the Pokemon community, be it a VGC player, game analyst, TCG player, Pokemon theorist, or so on, to hang out with them and ask them some questions about their passions, opinions, and experiences in the Pokemon franchise. I am your host, Espy, a longtime Pokemon fan and a Pokemon content creator. Today I am joined by someone who should actually be very familiar to listeners of the show. As we change some of the format around the show, I thought it would be appropriate to bring in someone familiar with the show to introduce you to some of the slight changes that we will see. He's a dear friend of mine and has actually grown a lot since we last spoke on the show, so I'm excited to reintroduce my friend, Lumios Post. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be back. First returning guest, so I feel pretty special.
You
So
are pretty
yeah.
special. You're pretty special to me.
Woo. Let's go.
Yeah, so you doing pretty good? Had a good weekend so far?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm waiting for November. We talked about that a little bit off stream, but I'm I'm excited for November. I'm just treading through October right now.
Yeah, counting down the days, literally, which I
Oh
do on
yeah.
my Twitter. So if you are not following the Loafing Around Twitter, I count down the days on there with Pokemon pictures. So definitely go check it out there and enjoy. I have never missed a day, and no one can disprove that. Uh,
No, that is not true. He missed the day of muck,
I
so
did.
nothing else matters.
I did miss Muck a little bit, and which did hurt me
Mm.
because that's our special Huggy Boy from Kanto that day.
So many good images.
There are. I really wanted to do the him like smushing Oak, like just one of the iconic
Right.
like call ones, and I goofed it.
Shame.
I know. So the first change that I'm sure many people are kind of noticing as they're watching is that there's actually things happening on the screen on YouTube. So that is a change. This is something we're hoping to kind of do from now on. So sub to the YouTube if you're listening to it somewhere else. But this is something that we're going to try and integrate to show you some actual images of what we're talking about. And so you can kind of see the channel of the person that we're talking about. In this case is Lumios Post, as you guys know. He's kind of grown in leaps and bounds since we last talked. I mean, we last talked, he had like 120 maybe subs. And now you're up
It
to
was so long
1.2.
ago for
It
sure.
really was. So do
Yeah,
you kind of
it
want to
was a
talk
long
about,
time ago.
yeah, do you want to talk about your kind of what the new series that you're doing? You're doing several new series, things that are working for you, and how you've grown and how you feel about that.
Yeah, so uh I mean, YouTube is a huge learning curve. It's a lot of figuring out what works and what doesn't. So we're finally at a place where we kind of have consistent, like you said, series instead of just miscellaneous uploads that don't tie into each other at all. Currently for Halloween, because it is obviously spooky month, we are doing these weekly series where I kind of take a horror element to the Pokemon world and really explore how, honestly, like while we think of it as this lovely little place with magical creatures, it's some of these things are downright terrifying. And so, through the power of story, I've kind of created these short stories about a Pokemon or a place or create a horror story from the Pokemon world, and is it's exciting. It's really fun to do. It's been fun to write them. I did not know that I had such a big passion for writing, but I love writing these stories. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and we have a competitive analysis series, all kinds of fun stuff on the channel, and then of course we still do our miscellaneous videos that don't tie into anything else.
Yeah, you're kind of getting into the shorts game too, which is great. Love to see people getting into
Yes.
shorts. It's a great way for people who don't know. If you have a YouTube and you're like, man, how do I get reach out to new people and kind of see new audiences? Shorts are a great way to reach people. So, a little tip from people who do YouTube, me and Lumi, that shorts are great. Ask Uap, who's a YouTuber, about that. He went from like 6,000 subs to like 13,000 subs almost in a couple months using shorts. So super good reference points and good way for people to find you.
Wow. Oh, they really are. Yeah, I've only uploaded two shorts at time of recording, and they've gotten my channel a good bit more subs already. So that's really nice.
Yeah, your competitive analysis videos do super good. The Farigiraf one, which we're if you're on YouTube, I'm looking at right now on the screen. It is super good, and it's got 5.2k views. I mean, These and I'm just looking now. Your Ceruledge actually 5.1. Man, you really put
Yeah,
numbers on these videos.
I was shocked. Oh yeah, I was shocked at not only just how well they've done, but that Farigiraf specifically passed Ceruledge. Obviously when I did Ceruledge, I did it because I knew that was I did the day that trailer dropped that revealed Ceruledge, and it was very clear that that was the fan favorite, not only from the trailer but from the games. And honestly, like given the engagement I've gotten on the Farigiraf video, and of course more views, and just some polls that I've done, it seems like people actually prefer Farigiraf to Ceruledge.
I I love Farigiraf. I am huge on this Pokemon. I'm very much in on Farigiraf.
Yes,
Big fan.
it's very cool, and I mean, you gotta love them going back and since I mean they did it back in Gym 4 and stuff, but since Legends gone back and started revisiting these lines that just really not only like could use it, but have kind of been fan favorite picks for it, like Stantler and now Girafarig.
Yes. So we are not going to discuss leaks in this episode, but
Yeah.
there
I
are
stopped myself real quick there.
yes, so keep an eye out for Pokemon of any gen that are long forgotten, in the same sense of Stantler and Girafarig and Quillfish, Pokemon like that. Keep an eye out.
Yep.
Maybe they'll get something. You never know. So that's all we'll say about that. But if you have a underrated Pokemon from an older gen, keep your eyes peeled. You might have good news coming
This
in the
is your
future.
time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, which I know a lot of people like. I see a lot of people posting memes of this of a specific Pokemon, and I'm like, I know that
Yes.
you know. I know you know. Like, don't act like you don't know.
What's funny is like I think the first time the meme was made of said specific like that person actually did not know, and now people are spreading it because they know.
Because they know. Yeah, it's like, oh, we know a thing.
Right.
Alrighty, so another thing that's kind of changing with the podcast is actually going to be the trivia game. We're changing it a little bit, so I'm going to be asking 5 trivia questions, and unlike the past, I do want you to answer these right away. So you'll be answering these questions right now, a little real-time trivia for all the listeners. So how do you feel about that, Lumi?
I'm sweating. I'm sweating, man. I'm nervous, but I'm excited, but I'm nervous.
I'm glad you're excited because I have some very interesting questions this time around for you. And they're going to be a little tough, but I have faith in you and your knowledge. So, and
Okay.
we'll give
I don't,
hints. We'll
but
give
okay.
hints because they're a little hard. They're a little hard. It's a weird topic. Uh, but I'm going to read out loud a Pokemon's name in the English translation of their Japanese name, and I want you to guess the Pokemon because some of them have some very funny Japanese names. This is not one of the Pokemon, but Abra, for example, his name in Japanese is Casey, which is funny. It's just Casey. Uh,
Huh.
Haunter is Ghost.
Wow.
So, so
Love
Gen
it.
1 especially. Like if you are listening to this podcast and you have not just went through Bulbapedia or Cerebi and not just looked at the Japanese names, please do. They're a treasure. There's so many funny ones, and they all are just completely wild on the Gen 1. Like Gen 1 is just so weird. It makes no sense. So you think you're ready?
I hope I am. Let's go.
Yes. So speaking of Gen 1, I'll also give you the generation that these Pokemon are from to give you a little help. So the first Pokemon that we are going to do is a Generation 1 Pokemon, and that Japanese name is Freezer.
Okay, I think that's Articuno.
That is Articuno. You are correct. So for those
Awesome.
that don't
Woo.
know, the names of the birds are hilarious. They're pretty much just fire, lightning, ice. Like they're just like, yep. Like this one freezes, this one's fire, this one's lightning. Great. Naming conventions
It
done.
was the first gen. They really were a small indie studio then.
Yeah, they didn't know what was going to happen. Now they do much different names, as we'll see
Right.
here in a second with some of the questions. But uh, the first gen again, just fantastic. And of course, as many people know, look at the German names too. Scroll down to the bottom of Bulbapedia. Look at the German names of Pokemon. Most of them are funny to English speaking audiences. So if English is your main language, go enjoy some German Pokemon names, either right now or after this
Yes.
podcast because they're top notch. Alrighty, question 2. This is a Generation 3 Pokemon that is the opposite of its name. So that's a little hint for you. Is the name is really the opposite, and this name is
Okay.
Sir Knight,
Oh, that's
Generation
Gardevoir.
3. That is Gardevoir, the Sir Knight.
I know that because of watching the anime with English subs.
There you go. See, you got a little, probably Diantha or however you want to do it, Mister
Yeah.
Kalos. But
Right. Right.
but
Yeah. I
always
mean,
funny.
recent Diantha episodes. Yep.
Yes, always funny though to hear Sir Knight be the name of Gardevoir. So, uh,
It is interesting. Yeah.
yeah. So, are you ready for your third question?
Absolutely.
So this is coming straight out of Generation 7, and it is Kapu Kokeko.
Papa Coco.
That is Tapu Koko. You are correct. He is old Kapu Kokeko. So, like I
I
said, they
love that.
get a bit more interesting the further they get into the gens, including all of the Tapus. So go look through the Tapu names if you get a chance. They are classic bits.
Awesome.
Alrighty, this is a very famous Generation 2 Japanese Pokemon, Bangiras.
Anguirus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Um.
It can be a tough one. It can be a tough one, but it's a pretty well known Generation 2 Pokemon. I'd say if people were ranking their Generation 2 favorites, this is top 3 for almost every single person that says, "Oh, Generation 2, I love this Pokemon."
It sounds fierce,
It is pretty
Bangiros, and I
fierce. It
feel like
is.
I feel like I know it.
Okay, what do you
Is
think?
it? I'm gonna be wrong about this. Is it Tyrantar?
It is Tyranitar, the old Bangiros
Okay.
Tyranitar.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay.
Alrighty. So you've gotten 4, all 4 so far. So that's not bad at all.
Ooh.
I know. How do
Oh
you
man.
how
Yeah,
do you
I'm
feel about
proud.
going into number 5?
I I mean, I'm trying not to get cocky here, but I'm feeling good.
All right, we're going back to Generation 1 with this one because I love all the Generation 1 Japanese names. This one is Sleeper.
Sleeper.
Pretty
Okay,
great.
I definitely know that one.
Definitely
Um,
know it. Okay, let's see
would
it.
that be? Is it Hypno?
It is indeed a Hypno. 5 for 5.
Okay.
Nice job.
I was pretty convinced it was either Hypno or Drowsy, so
Yeah,
took a
it's between the
gambit
two.
there.
Between the two.
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty, so nice job nailing the trivia on that one.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very proud of myself. I'm gonna go to Japan and do just fine.
Yeah. If you watch anime or play Pokemon, people love that in Japan. So just go there and just only say those things.
I mean, if I just walk around and say sleeper and freezer,
They'll go.
people will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Those are my favorite. They're my favorite. Just go around and say Kapuko Keke. Kapuko
just
Keko.
just yell at people from across the street. Sir Knight.
Sir Knight. I mean, come on. You know how popular Gardevoir is. That just makes sense.
Exactly. They'd turn around and be like, yes.
Alrighty, so we will go ahead and move on to our next segment, which is called RKS News, where, as you guys know, we cover news topics in the Pokemon community. There's another small change here for the listeners. The news is now going to focus on the guest and the general topic of the week. So we're not going to be covering all of Pokemon now, but kind of catering it towards who we have on. And this week we have Lumio's Post, which, as you guys can see, he focuses on the games a lot and knows quite a bit about the games. So kind of want to talk about the new introduction of Pokemon and characters, such as our dear friend right here, Bellybolt. Uh, so it's a new Pokemon that you can meet in the Paldea region, a pure electric frog type. Don't look at these things; those are not eyes; those are just bumps. These are eyes. He's our little smiley boy. So how do you feel about Bellybolt?
I went through, and from what I've gathered, like people talking about my competitive analysis I did on him, I think a lot of people went through a similar thing. When I first saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, that is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I hate this so much. This is the worst Pokemon ever made. And then just gradually it grew on me. I think that it looked a lot worse on the stream that they revealed it in. But then when I saw gameplay footage of it, I immediately was like, okay, no, it's not so bad. And now I like it. I really do. It doesn't on my playthrough team, but I respect that the design is like super unique. It's not like else that we've seen in Paldea, and honestly, that what you've seen in Pokemon in a long time at least. It looks like a classic Gen 1 design, and so I respect that they're doing that.
Yeah, no, it is definitely kind of an homage to Gen 1. I mean, it's got the like the kind of animal like shape and kind of like being an animal, but
Hmm.
not so on the nose. So I
And
mean,
I mean, it's totally beta Polytoad, like the one of the
it absolutely is.
Polytoad like redone.
Yeah,
Looks like a
it's
Squishmallow. I've
it
seen a lot of
does.
people say that. I
Yes,
saw a
I've been saying
Squishmallow
that
that
as well.
looked
Yeah.
exactly like it. Yes.
Uh,
I mean, respect. Like,
oh, absolutely.
I respect that.
Yeah, no, it's a bold design choice. I was in the same camp of like, I hate this thing when I first saw it. I was like, that is an ugly design. And then
Yeah.
right after the video, I saw these kind of official photos we're kind of looking at on the YouTube right now. And I was a fan once I saw regular gameplay of it, little tongue sticking out. Like I was like,
Mhm.
okay, now you kind of won me over. I do notice on this website now that they really bring attention to like that yellow spot on its stomach is not just nothing, it's its belly button. It's belly button
Yeah.
dynamo.
Yeah. It and I mean, I like it a lot now. It's like I said, it doesn't have a shot on my team. It's not a me design. You know, it's kind of like I love Sylveon. Sylveon is not a me Pokemon though, you know. So
Mhm.
it's in that boat. I think that just when I heard, because like you said, there are leaks of these games, and I'd heard that there was a electric type frog Pokemon, and so I was super excited about that because when I hear frog Pokemon, my brain goes to Greninja, and
Yeah. Yeah.
this ain't Greninja.
Not quite. I mean, it's. I would love if you're listening to this and you are an artist, please remake Greninja in the shape of Bellybolt. That would be hilarious to me, and I would very much want to
Okay, but
see.
don't send that to me.
It might be a little cursed, but it's fine. Send it. I want it so bad. I want to see. I want to see Greninja with his little water shuriken and his tongue wrapped all the way
On his
around his
back, yeah,
body.
the Ash Greninja. Yes, yes.
But
You
it's
have to make a
Bellybolt.
Greninja and Ash Greninja version.
It's the only way. So if you're an artist, please, 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 make us an Ash Greninja Bellybolt. It'll
Yes,
make my entire life. So
we'll make it the mascot of the podcast channel.
yes, yeah, yeah, no, it'll have to be. And I promise you right now that Lumiose trainer Zach will make it his mascot too. And don't
Yes,
no one tell him,
Lumiose
no one
trainer
tell him
Zach will
that.
not Lumiose post, but Lumiose trainer Zach. Yes.
He's got this. He's got such a Greninja thing, you know. He's got that whole Greninja vibe
Yeah.
over at the old Lumiose trainer Zach. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So that
I'm
wasn't the
not sure
only.
if we're allowed to mention each other. Am I going to get copyrighted? Lumiose post Zach
Yeah,
mentioning Lumiose trainer Zach.
yeah. The Battle of Loomies. Also good. But not only did we get Bellybolt, we also got here Iono. So she is the gym leader of Levincia. It's one of the prominent cities they mentioned. So it's not one of those small villages we kind of see on the map. It's one of the bigger cities.
Mhm.
And she is a streamer, as many people have, talked about. Uh, she's the host of the Iono Zone and streams the gym battles. I do like her catchphrases. Your eyeballs are mine. Caught in my electro web and "Elo elo hola ciao bonjour." Like,
Yeah.
I like that they
Well,
bring up the
and have
fact
you
that those are
heard the
the.
whole? Have you heard like the whole thing with the LOLO Chow Bonjour thing? Like what people are speculating behind it?
No, I have not actually.
So all of those correspond to a region that exists. You know, Bonjour, Kalos. You know, that's French.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Elo, it's specifically without the H, so like Galler. So some people, oh, Italy, Gen 10. And I think it's a stretch, but you know, it's a cute these little theories. So
Yeah, yeah. Big fan of theories. So yeah, maybe we'll see an Italian Generation 10, and we will get this Chow here as a Generation 10 Italy. I would love an Italy region. So and you could
oh
really lean
yes,
into the Roman stuff, and you would have so many cool designs off of that.
yes,
Just chef's kiss.
yes,
We would have so many cool designs
yes.
for
Oh
a
man,
Roman region.
absolutely. Yeah, we need just all the starters to be some kind of mythological creature.
Finally get the Minotaur. Finally get a Minotaur.
Yes. How have we not had that? That's literally a
I don't,
Pokemon.
I don't know how we haven't gotten a Fire Minotaur yet. Like I'm like, that's right there. Listen, my all I'm saying is all starters could be bulls because very easily can we make a grass bull? I mean, that's easy.
Mhm.
That's so simple. Make Buffalon make his head a bush. We could
Right.
have a water buffalo, which I really want a water buffalo water starter because it'd be so cute and so different from all the water starters because it wouldn't be so amphibious. And then we could easily have a fire minotaur.
Mhm.
So never
There's
mind. Make
there's
them all
someone who's
bulls.
done a water bull for it was someone did, I think it was like a Philippines fan made region. I don't think it was a game. It may have been a game, but like it was a fake mod and it was a water bull and it looks so good. I really wish I remembered the artist, but it was really good.
Yeah, if you know the artist, comment it down below and we'll check it out. There's a lot of great artists out there. And then
Mhm.
tell them to make Belly Bolt as Ash Greninja.
Yes, yeah. Do the reverse of what we asked earlier.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Iono, as many people know, she had some
I don't know.
controversy around her. Iono, I don't know, but she had some controversy around her. Not well received by everybody. I, for one, big fan. Really like this. Like the streamer idea. Love the design. Like the sharp teeth. I like the Magnemite clips of the hair. Big fan. But not everyone has the same feelings on this. So, what are your feelings?
I mean, I think I'm largely indifferent to her. I at first I hated her because she was all like, "Guess my partner Pokemon," and then she doesn't reveal it, and that sucks. But as time went on, I realized, you know what? We're all YouTubers here. For one, we need to build a better, more positive community. So I'm not going to be a jerk. And and two, we've all dabbled in the clickbait, so can't really hate on her for it.
I've seen so many people that got so mad about the clickbait thing, and I'm like, and they're big
Yeah.
YouTubers. I'm like, you do this every day, like
Yes.
every day you do this.
Yes.
Like you're constantly putting a Pokemon up there that doesn't exist in a silhouette on your thumbnails, and you're like, new whatever revealed, and then it's like the longest track to get to where you're actually saying like, and you're like,
Right.
they said that maybe there's a Pokemon and maybe it could be this. I'm like, that is extreme clickbait.
Yes.
Like, I'm not saying like I never do clickbait, of course
The
I do,
worst
but
ones the worst ones are in the anime where like you'll see like Serena return and it'll be like
someone talked about her.
just patch Serena into it.
Yeah, someone mentioned Serena. Ash said Serena's name, and therefore Serena returned. But either way, again,
Right.
it's weird that people got so mad about it. Like I get that people want a new Pokemon. Again, every trailer we want new Pokemon. That's what we want. But as
Mm,
a character, I don't get like hating her character because the way the
right.
Pokemon come. I'm like, the character
It's
is
a
still
marketing
fun,
choice.
and she's a
Absolutely.
streamer. I mean, she's a streamer. She is that's business, baby. Like leave
Yeah.
people like hungry for a little bit, make them come back for more. So like that's just business. That's just marketing. She's a like
Right.
the way that they're designing her character is a streamer, is a business person, is someone that needs someone
Hmm.
to come back to the channel. So again, like it's the same concept as what, all YouTubers do, come back for the next one, or, there's just too much to cover in this, even though I could make the video 5 more minutes longer. So you'll have to come back next week to see more. So,
Right.
that's the idea of her. And I like her design a lot. I think she's super
Yeah.
fun.
I appreciate it. I really do. I do think that Pokemon's marketing game has been weak with Scarlet and Violet, to say the least. But, like you said, why hate the character for that? I mean, the character's a good design. She seems pretty high energy and pretty cool, very different from leaders. And it's cool that, like, one of Pokemon's biggest target audiences and also one of their biggest promoters, really, are Twitch streamers, YouTube uh, makers, and stuff like that. So why not finally make someone that kind of represents that group?
Yeah, I was a I'm a big fan of this, and like, it kind of fits the electric gym leader kind of theme that they're kind of been going for here recently. I feel like, like in, like Elisa from Gen 5. I mean, she was a rock star. You know what I mean? Like they're I feel like they're kind of going for like the public figure because the Pikachu's a mascot, so you want to hype up electric type. Ash uses, his main Pokemon's electric type. So like you want to make like a statement with them. And so like as far as making a statement and being in the public eye, I think Iono checks
Yeah.
that box.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, and I also like that, like, all the gym leaders of the same type aren't the same. Like, it'd be really easy to go like electric type, the first choice I feel like an inventor, but they're not all inventors. You have Clement, but like off the top of my head, that's really the only. Well, Watson also, I guess, dabbles with inventions, but then you have a veteran, and you
Yeah,
have a model, and you have a streamer. So
American
it's just
general.
so diverse,
American
right?
general. You guys, so I did a video one time where I did a what would what would gym leaders Pokemon teams be if they were from their original region, and like I had a whole bit in there where I made Lieutenant Surge an American, and so I gave him the most American team because I was like, hey, in the games he is not from Kanto, he is not from Johto, he's American. It says specifically in the game that
Six
he is.
Braviary.
Yeah, I was like Braviary, Easy Tauros. I was like, listen, he is the supercharged American. That's it's in his name. That's a
Yes,
slogan. It says American. He is not from Sinnoh. He's not from Galar. He's an American.
I love it. I
It's
love
like
it.
gotta bring that up. But they and like again, Clement, while kind of shy and reserved himself, he like his gym is the center of the region. The center. It's
Right.
the biggest building in the region, and it's the icon, like if you were making
Yes.
a channel called Lumios something, you would make that Lumios tower your profile picture. You know what I mean?
It was for the longest time on mine.
Now we got this great photo here. But again, it's the icon, it's the centralized area. Elisa was big. Lieutenant Surge, he was supposed to be this mountain of a man, he's like 8 foot tall,
Mhm.
big general, like he's known. Iono is supposed to be, super well known. So I think that she gets the idea of the electric gym leader. I
Yeah,
think she covers the boxes on.
definitely.
But with that said, this week, if you are listening to this the week of release, we have a month left until Scarlet and Violet come out and we can play through the entire game. Is that not
What?
crazy?
It's so wild. I mean, normally I remember being a kid and keeping up with release cycles of games, and as a kid those things go by so slowly. But now as an adult, goes by faster.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy to think. I mean, we're Scarlet and Violet next month.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And like we can do a count right here. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19. We've had 19 Pokemon only released new Pokemon for this game for
It's
Scarlet and
wild.
Violet. So like it's just
One of those
crazy.
is a regional form
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah, Paldean
That
and
is
Loopers.
including Looper.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and Wiglet is its own beast. But uh
Right.
it's very interesting. Like we've gotten very few Pokemon. So kind of back to what you were saying earlier about the you
Weak
said,
marketing
yeah,
cycle.
the lackluster, and like I think that comes down to Pokemon. People want more Pokemon. That's the thing. Give us other regional
Hmm.
forms. Give us, again, we're not talking about leaks, but if there were to be some other form of Pokemon, uh, release that. Give us the starters mid evolutions. I want to see what Quaxley looks like so bad in middle evolution. I don't know why Quaxley's
Yes.
specifically, but I'm very interested in what our little duck friend looks like in his new form. Because I
Yes.
mean, he just
I know that uh, this isn't like leaks, but the leaker said that the trailer that we just got for Iono, it had these bulletin boards in the back, and he said normally there's an advertisement that has Quaxley's evolution
yes, I
up on
saw
the
that.
board. They
Yeah,
made sure not to get it in the shot. And
yeah.
that's just so upsetting. Like it was right there. And then the trailer before this with Farigiraf had actually level up to 16 in it.
Yeah,
And they didn't
yeah,
show the
yeah.
evolutions.
They were like, "It's at
They're teasing it.
16," but
Yeah,
no,
they're
they.
teasing it. I kind of feel like they might reveal it then, because they're teasing it.
I hope so, honestly, because again, like this. Look at this. Look at our little man here. He is one suave dude. He's got this style. He is on billboards. He is so stylish, in my opinion, out of all the Pokemon. So I really think that his design is going to be something to see. I think his final evolution is going to be something eye catching and something that people want because again if it's on billboards it's like supposed to you see it like here in this picture you see it throwing
Mhm.
its hair back like it is
Mhm.
model-esque and so I'm excited to see what its strong legs on as we see right here will evolve into hopefully water fighting in my opinion but I'm very very interested to see what our strong duck boy becomes but I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm
same
I'm
with
so
Boy
excited for it.
Coco, Sprigatito. I'm not a big cat person. I'm so sorry to all the listeners that are
Me
like,
neither.
I
No.
dislike you so much. I am allergic to cats, and so they are not like we don't
Same.
get along super well. Like if I'm around them for too long, I just can't breathe. So, like
Absolutely. Same
so,
here.
so that's the thing. Like I'm allergic to cats, so like I don't have I still
Right.
think they're cute, but I'm
It's
not
not on
like
my team.
woo cats. I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
use both Fuecoco and Claxley. I think I'm gonna use
I'm
both.
doing the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm doing the
I'm like,
same thing.
man, because like our little
I feel
pepper
like our
boy.
teams are I feel like our teams are largely similar because we're both adding Titan, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna use the Titan. Look at my big
Yeah.
boy. Look at this dude. I mean, he
Yeah.
is great. Pure Ice type, Slush Rush. I'm about to find him with that ability. I like this dude so much. Big
Oh,
fan.
so you're gonna go Slush Rush. I was gonna go
I would like to.
Big Fat Titan. So
I mean,
all right,
that's
we'll
the
have to do
move.
battle.
Hey, I mean, if someone were to be doing some sort of tournament or something on their channel, I would partake. Is all I'm saying. Wink.
Absolutely, that would be cool. Someone should do that.
Yeah,
Wink.
wink.
Spoiler
uh,
alert for what's coming to the Lumios post soon.
but no, so I will bring in a mono ice type team, and it'll have one Pokemon on it, just a Titan. But no, so they're. But I'm very excited. I'm
Six
excited to
of them or
learn
just the one?
one.
Yes.
But I'm very excited. I am so shocked. A month left, and we do not know the typings of the legendaries. I cannot believe that. It's
Well, they
crazy.
did that with Scarlet and Violet too. I think that's just the game they're playing now.
Yeah, Sword and Shield. Yeah, I can't. It's just
Or yeah, I said Scarlet
crazy.
and Violet, Sword and Shield. My
It's
bad.
okay. It's on the month. It's a month away. A month away. I cannot believe it.
Yeah,
I
it's
I'm
all
Team
I can think about.
Koraidon, but look at my boy. He's got to be Dragon Fairy,
Yes.
Dragon Fighting, one of those two. I mean, and he's
Oh
great.
yeah.
I love him. Big fan. Uh,
Mm.
but let's kind of talk about some of these
Don's clearly
designs.
Dragon Steel, Dragon Electric.
Yeah, no,
Oh, the designs are
100%.
so good this gen.
Yeah, so like hit me with some of your tops because like there are some good ones here.
So Titan is my all-time favorite one.
Yeah, no,
That is my
we're good
number
so far.
one best design. I mean, I don't know. It to me
Number one out of
designs in
19.
my opinion. Right. Uh, but I also really like Cyclizar. I really like Quaxley and Fuecoco. I'm, you know, obviously people love Ceruledge and Armarouge, and I do too. But I'm using Fuecoco, so I've kind of got my fire locked in. Cloth I also really like. I know that's not one that's talked about a lot, but I like Cloth. So, for all of you Cloth
Its
haters,
face cracks
forget
me up
you.
so much.
Yes, I love him.
Just constantly
He's
just
so grumpy.
pure rock type. Very
Yes.
interesting on that. So do you mind if we
Yeah.
kind of talk about Cloth for a second? So like
Absolutely. Please.
yeah.
Let's.
I'm very interested in the Titan forms, obviously. Like I think that's a fun idea. We don't know if there'll be more, how many there will be. But I am very interested in this idea because it's kind of like noble Pokemon. It's kind of like alpha Pokemon.
Right.
It's kind of like totem Pokemon. Not
Totems.
the first time
Yeah.
we've done big Pokemon. So, but there's not a lot of pure rock types. Like, I mean, there's enough, but like,
Hmm.
we kind of have Sudowoodo, shocking. Uh, Nose Pass. Then you start getting the
Like
legendaries and
Roxanne.
fossils that knocks off a
Well,
bunch.
see, Nose Pass doesn't even stay pure
Yeah,
rock. So, like, does it really count?
yeah, right. And then you have like Roggenrola and Rockruff, and then Stonejourner.
Mm.
So there's not a bunch of pure rock types. So it's very interesting that they took this crab Pokemon and they were like, "That's a rock." Like I'm very interested
Mm.
in that concept. I mean, I know not comment like it's based on this. I know that I know the general idea, but it's still very interesting that it has like the pure rock. It's got like the iron filaments on its arms and legs and face. Like it's just very
Mm.
interesting design.
It is. It's really cool. I'm a big fan of. I think crabs are my favorite animal in real life, to be honest. Because they're both really cute and cool, and also delicious. So it checks all the boxes. But so by default, I love crab Pokemon, and Cloth is. I mean, he fits the bill. I love Cloth.
Well, lucky for you, all arthropods are slowly becoming crabs. So carcinization, everything is changing to crab over time evolutionarily. So everything will eventually be a crab.
Wait, is that
So
true? What?
have you never heard of
Yes.
carcinization? I'm going to teach you
No.
biology right now. So what carcinization, it is the concept that all arthropods are slowly becoming crabs because they are such a perfect life form. So that is an actual biological
Wow.
theory. It is actually the basis of my running joke that I had made a short on my channel, where I said that all Pokemon are becoming Diglett. Where I was like, every Pokemon is becoming Diglett
Oh, okay.
over time
It's
because
perfect.
it's perfect evolution. So, I mean, everything's becoming Diglett. And so that was the basis. That's where that joke came from, was actually because everything becomes crab over time. So,
Okay.
uh, everything will
Okay.
eventually be your
Cool.
favorite Pokemon. So, all Pokemon will eventually become crab. Every Pokemon will
Awesome.
be
Well,
Cloth
that's
at the
great.
end.
I want to become a crab, so I hope that happens.
One half crab, one half people. Uh,
Right.
but if so, let's talk about Anger Shell because I'm very interested in it. It's so wonky.
Yes.
Like I love that. Like so, every Pokemon has like two pictures on there. So let's pick another random Pokemon real quick. Lechonk. How many pictures does it have? Two. Cloth, just for its ability, Anger Shell has 6 pictures. It's so funny that they
Yes.
put every single one. They were like, it's Anger Shell, then it's Attack Rose, then it's Special Attack Rose, it's Speed Rose, it's Defense Fell, it's Special Defense Fell. They put a picture for every single one. What I hope doesn't happen is I hope there's not a long pause in between each one as they show us every single stat change. That drives me nuts in Pokemon
Oh
games when it's
God.
like
Yeah.
this
No.
changed and then they wait 2 seconds and then this changed. I'm like, all right, you're gonna need to speed this up. I get the idea. Just say
Mm-hmm.
Anger Shell happened. I can piece it together.
Yes. Yeah. No.
It's just
They
so
won't
funny.
do that though. They'll write it all out.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
So
I love it though. I like the name too. They just I mean that's such a like careless, thoughtless name, you know. They just
off.
kind of like it's a crab, it's doing shell smash. It looks pretty mad. We're gonna go with Angus shell on this one.
Yeah, I thought you meant its actual name. That's true too. Like it literally is just like
Oh no, the cloth,
powerful
yeah,
and
yeah.
cloth. It's a powerful claw. There you go, cloth. Done.
Right. Well, and like and I mean, you know, I think it comes from like Cliff too, because it's the
Okay,
stony
yeah, yeah.
Cliff Titan. And so just Cliff and it has a claw, so
I
it's
love
cloth.
I love this part on here. Speaking of it being the Stony Cliff Titan, like it loves to hang upside down
Yeah.
onto cliffs. However, eventually it gets dizzy from the blood rushing to its head, so it can't do that for too long.
Yes.
So I'm
I
really hoping
love
that we
it.
get to see that. So real like another sidetrack here. We're sidetrack monsters right now. But so this seems to be like the most interactive Pokemon game we're gonna get. The like Grafai, when those pop up, it looks like the trees in the area are gonna be painted. So because you can see it in the background of these pictures,
Yeah.
that like it seems when you're coming close to one, it's painted. You're seeing sandiles and Crocoroks swimming through the sand. Wiglets are gonna
Mhm.
pop up out of the ground and go in when you come close. It's gonna be very interactive. So
Love it.
I want to see Cloth fall off the cliff. Like I want it to be I want it to fall off if it gets too dizzy, and you can just throw a Pokeball at it, like
Yes.
super easy Legends Arceus
Yes.
style. Just bonk it with a
At
Pokeball.
least like yeah, or at least like you go into battle and it's already confused. Because I'm wondering if they're gonna
Oh, that'd be funny.
I know I've made it clear that like I look at leaks, but I promise you that like this has not been anything leaked. This is just speculation. But like Powdam Wooper's thing mentions that because of the poisonous film on it, that there might be Pokemon around it that are poison. You might find Pokemon near it that are
Oh
poison.
yeah,
And
around it.
like
Yeah, yeah,
actually in the game, I might like find a wild Goomy. We know Goomy lives in that environment.
yeah,
And the Goomy will be poisoned when I go into battle in it. I really hope they do that. That would be so cool.
yeah. It'd be very fun. I really wonder if we're gonna get any Legends Arceus stuff like that because I've seen people speculating like that's the new thing. You're not fighting; you're just gonna throw Pokeballs, kind of like you did in Legends Arceus. Uh, I I think
Well, I
that
know
it'll be
they're
different.
keeping. Yeah, it looks like they're keeping the drowsy feature from Legends Arceus instead
Drowsy
of
and
sleep.
Frostbite were big. Those were wins. Those were huge wins,
I
and so
see.
keep those.
I like sleep better, but I like frostbite better than frozen.
Yeah, no, Frostbite is huge for me. I love Frostbite.
Yeah,
Like
I love that. I mean, just like special version of burn, love it.
I guess I should say I would like all four to exist. I would like Frostbite, Frozen, Sleep, and Drowsy all to be effects. I guess is the way that I should word
Yeah.
what I'm saying
Okay.
here. So that's kind of how I feel about it, because like it's like a poison toxic situation. A Pokemon can be poisoned, but it can be affected with toxic and be severely poisoned. So like you can be
Yeah.
poisoned and you can have toxic effects. And so I think that the same thing should apply with Drowsy Sleepy and with Frostbite Frozen. in my opinion.
I get that. I just, to me, drowsiness, like it's just paralysis, really. So
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
say keep paralysis, sleep, and I will say sleep and frozen are kind of the same thing too, in the sense that it's just the Pokemon's like it's not moving unless it wakes up. So do frostbite instead of freeze, and do sleep instead of drowsy. Make that the thing that like completely incapacitates it.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what they keep and what they take from Legends Arceus and moving into this, because like
Hmm.
normally the game before a Pokemon game, it's a Pokemon game. It's similar, you know, if anything changes its quality of life, kind of just small additions.
Right.
These are so different games. Like Legends Arceus and Scarlet and
Hmm.
Violet are going to be massively different. And we can see Hisui in Pokemon, and we can see some features from Legends Arceus seem like they're getting moved over. But what all are we going to see? I'm
Right.
very curious to see what stays and what goes.
Well, and it's also interesting because, like, most of the time, you have a Pokemon game, and then 1 year later, 365 days later, is the next Pokemon game. But the games both released in 2022, so they were very likely made, at least for part of their development, alongside each other instead of, okay, now we've finished Legends, let's move to Scarlet and Violet. There was a period where they were working on both, right? So, I mean, I
Yeah,
wonder how much it could affect the game.
yeah. So that's another thing to bring up here. I'm sorry, real quick. I am looking at Fido right now. I have never noticed. I don't know if you've stared at Fido for very long. Why is its nose the same
No, I
color as
try
the
not
rest of
to.
its mouth? Like, why did they not color the nose? Someone answer me this, artist,
I
because
think it's because it's dough. It's all dough,
but like the
you
ears and
know?
the eyebrows are like, you know, like cooked dough. You know, they're
It's
like
because they
slightly
got
yellow.
icing on them. No, they got icing. They got
Okay.
icing.
But why didn't the nose have icing? Dogs get
Butter.
that's like a whole thing, right? Like
Butter.
where dogs get stuff on their nose. Like this just drives me crazy. It's all the same color. I'm sorry.
I
Either way,
just don't like Fido.
it's an interesting design. I'm very excited to see it evolve because I think it'll be funny and delicious. But
Yes.
I
Delicious for sure.
yeah. They really want you to eat the Pokemon in this game. Real quick, sorry, last thing. You
Absolutely.
eat like you eat small olive oil. Like they say that it's very important in cooking. Tastes some way. Fido is made of literal dough, and its breath helps cook things. Uh, what else do we have? And cloth has delicious claws. It says it right here. Let's focus. Cloth claws are considered a valuable cooking ingredient. And then, most egregiously, when we're making the sandwiches, you see ham. This is Lechonk, a pig, and they
So
have
dark.
ham on those sandwiches. Why do they want us to eat the Pokemon so bad in this generation? And why did it start
Well,
with
that and like,
Appleton last generation?
did you see that there is there's like after you battle a Pokemon, like it showed you battle the Litleo in the Farigiraf trailer, and like it said, you just got a tuft of Litleo fur, and it's like, well, that's kind of dark, you
Yeah,
know?
right. Like the Pokemon blew up, but like I
Right.
so
Like
like
there's
so
Snow
curious.
Thread and Snoverberries and stuff. So
Yeah,
Snoverberries, there's another food.
right. They really want you to eat the Pokemon, and I blame Appleton for this. Someone was like, "Make that Pokemon edible,"
Yes.
and then after
Well,
that, they
they
were
they
like, "All
said,
right,
yeah,
cut
like
loose."
the skin on its back,
They were like,
and they were
"You
like,
take
why
that
have we
skin
not
off
done
its
this
back
more?
and you cook it. You eat that."
Right. And then the alchemy, I think it said something about alchemy's like cream is like super
Yeah,
delicious,
I
which
think they
the
bring that up,
memes
but
there
like
are kind of endless.
they really, eh, they really want you to eat the Pokemon though. Like if they
Right.
had something about
You don't.
Bellibolt's legs, I think they intentionally didn't give it legs so they couldn't say frog legs. They intentionally were like, put the feet
That's
right
right.
onto its stomach.
Yes.
Evolutionary advantage over time. Got rid of legs because it didn't want to get eaten.
Yeah. I think is frog legs, is that like worldwide? I thought that was like more of a country thing. You and
I
I
have
are
no
kind of in the
idea.
country, different parts, but I
Yeah,
I feel like it's more of like a country thing.
I have no idea. If you are listening to this podcast and you are not a, uh, well, even if you are a urban U.S. citizen, please let me know if you eat frog legs and tell me. You can even tweet at me and let me know if you don't live in America. Are frog legs somewhere else? Like I always
Yes.
assumed that they were a French food as well. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. So,
Well, they eat weird things. They eat snails. Uh
oh,
so I mean, which by the way is delicious. No hate.
I had no idea. I refused to eat that, but I had no idea that it would taste any kind of good.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've talked about this before. You're picky.
I'm the world's pickiest eater, and anyone can challenge me on that, and I will win. But I don't understand it. So before we exit this Pokemon talk, let's talk about the star, Farigiraf. Let's talk about our good boy,
Yes.
who's very important to me,
Graph is
who I
gorgeous.
love so much. Like this is, I love the colors. Can we get? I love this color. Like I love that orange. That's such a good orange. The brown, super good. I love it when it closes its head and the green eyes like show. I love this. I love everything about
Yes.
this dude. I love
Yes.
the abilities. I love the design. I like how tall it is. I am a huge fan. I already really liked Girafarig. Like I was a big Girafarig fan, and this just improved it. I'm a huge Farigiraf fan. Absolutely on my team. I don't know how you feel
Yeah,
about it.
I love it. I really do. I'm not using it on my team just because my wife
Sacrilege.
adores it and she's using it on
Sacrilege.
her team. We kind of play together, so I like,
That's fair.
yeah, I guess.
I'm so big
But
in this Pokemon. Like
I don't like to, yeah. I mean, I don't like to like use like an identical team to hers, you know. So like I try to avoid the things she's picking up, and she tries to do the same with my stuff. So like I'm using Fuecoco and Quaxley. She's using Sprigatito.
yeah.
But it's a great design. I mean, I always Girafarig, like we talked about at the beginning, like it's a Pokemon that we've always wanted to get an evolution, and I always imagined that the evolution would be like the tail grows into like another Girafarig head, but like a darker one,
They really did a
and
twist
it's
and I
like
love it.
equal. Right. I know that's exactly what I was getting at. Like it's not what I expected, but I love it so much more than what I was like thinking a Girafarig evolution will be.
100% they've spun it on its head literally and put it the other
Literally.
head on its head, and I'm a huge fan. Again, it's 10'6". I love
Right.
me a tall boy. It's 352 pounds.
Yes.
It's great.
Finally a giraffe, you
I know.
know? Like Girafarig wasn't like it
The
didn't
legs are
have it,
so
when
giraffe.
you think long legs and
Yeah.
long neck, but now we have it.
Yeah. I am a huge
A lot of
Farigiraf fan.
African themes here, which like shameless plug, I did a video on like how there's what I think Gen 10 and Gen 11 could be because I think they've already hinted at both those gens. And basically, I think that Gen 11 will be Africa because I think they hint 2 gens ahead now. And there's
Hmm.
a lot of African themes in this game. Like we've gotten Farigiraf, and then just looking at some
Like,
of the
yeah.
Pokemon that's in the game,
Grafai,
there's
I mean, that's a lemur. I mean,
Donphan is in the
Madagascar.
game, and Lucario. Grafaia's lemur, yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
And now some of you will get on me and say Donphan's an Indian elephant, and so is Caparaja, which is also in the game. And yeah, that's true, but they're also elephants. So, there's a lot of African themes, I feel like. So I could totally see Gen 11 being somewhere in Africa. I would assume Egypt because I think that's kind of the go-to Africa place, but
Yeah. I I would love that. I mean, so much in Africa is so culturally rich and beautiful, and
mhm,
I would love to see a Pokemon game off of that. And Farigiraf will be my first Pokemon on my team there too. I would say
absolutely.
that I put Farigiraf. That's my like number one Pokemon right now in this game. Like if someone's like, "What Pokemon's absolutely on your
Really.
team?" Farigiraf. Like no doubt in my mind, I'm putting this on my team. It's like having not used it, it's already my top 25 Pokemon. After using it, I get a strong feeling it might even be in my top 6, like be on my dream team Pokemon. But we'll
Yeah.
have to see. I'm a huge
That's
fan. And again, it's not recency bias. I've loved Girafarig for a long
right.
time. I will if you need me to, I keep on my phone my top 100 Pokemon as a constant changing list on my phone, and it's number 18 right now. So so don't
Yeah.
tempt me to read this
That's
list.
my wife too. It jumped up to top 6 for her. She bumped Arcanine down for it.
Whew.
So she's serious about it.
All right. So now, what are Sarah's top 6 Pokemon? I'll cut the name out. Sorry, that was my
Uh
bad.
so no, I've been pretty open. Her name's Sarah. I don't
Oh,
care.
okay. Good. Then we'll leave it in.
Uh
I was like,
yeah.
whoopsies, I might have violated a friend thing, but
No, you're good. She don't care. But um, don't tell anyone our last name's Smith. Nah, I'm kidding. Our last name isn't Smith. But she likes Eevee is her favorite. So she's super basic in that regard. But she also loves. I don't think these next ones are in any specific order, but Togekiss, Luxray,
Okay.
Blastoise,
Ooh.
Flygon, but when she's talking about her
Okay.
Dream Team, she always makes sure to let me know that that Flygon is shiny.
That's
And
good.
then
That's
it
good
used to
shiny.
be Arcanine, but like I said, she has now swapped it for Farigiraf.
Yeah, your wife has some great Pokemon tastes because I'm a huge fan
She
of all
really
those
does.
Pokemon as well. So
She
go
really
go
does. Yeah. I
Sarah
mean,
over
I'm
at
proud of her.
Lumio's post. So hopefully we see more of her in
Absolutely.
your videos as well because she comes in every once in a while and she is a delight.
She's a rock star, man. She carries the channel. A lot of people don't know it, but she's the editor. So she's actually the reason that we have 4 a week.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you guys put out so many videos. I don't put out 4 a week. I'm soon adding more. You can see my channel right here on the screen right now. Next to in between Camtendo and Soul Silver R2, you should also sub to. But I will definitely be adding some more coming up. But enough about my
Yes.
channel. What we got going on your channel here at the Lumios Post. Do you have anything that you're wanting to promote as we kind of come to a close here? Do you have anything like,
Like
do
I
you have any
said,
plans coming up in the next month or so that people need to be like paying attention to?
yes, I do actually. We so like I said, we've got a we call it the terrifying world of Pokemon. It's Pokemon horror stories. So it's a lot of fun, I think. It's not too scary. I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to horror stuff. Like I won't watch things like The Conjuring, and I wrote these, so you know, they're not super scary, but they're kind of twisty and stuff, very Twilight Zone-esque. That's what I based the series off of. So be sure to check that out. Terrifying World of Pokemon.
Very good.
Coming up on the Lumios post, we have some more Halloween stuff to kind of close this week off or
Woohoo!
month off, excuse me,
Yeah.
and then next next month we obviously I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's a game coming out called like Pokemon, like I don't know, it's like orange and purple or something.
Pokemon Orange and
But
Purple.
we're going to be doing
Pre-order
a
now.
lot of stuff about that. Yeah, pre-order it now at your local game store. But we're going to be
Stop
doing a
gaming.
lot of stuff with that. We have a lot of really cool, fun videos planned, and we have some pretty cool surprises for battle fans planned as well once those games release. So it's going to be fun.
Lots of stuff coming up over there. You definitely have some cool collabs coming up. I feel like a lot of cool people coming up on the channel. Uh, so very
Yes,
excited to
definitely.
see some of those amazing people on your channel. Uh,
For
but
sure.
yes, so as you guys have seen, there's some stuff changing on the podcast here. We're showing things on the screen. You'll probably notice this week that there's no theme song. That is because I am too stupid to yet figure out how to put it on here, but we'll get there. So it'll probably be back next week. You will also see in the next episode, I will be on camera. Woohoo! You will have my face on there.
Ooh.
So as we do some editing and changing to the studio, we're gonna add some cameras, add some lighting, things of that nature, and this will be a regular thing. So make sure that if you like to watch things in video format, to sub to the Loafing Around YouTube channel, because we are doing the videos on there. We will have things going on the screen. We will have myself on camera. The theme song will be back, and we have lots of cool guests coming up very soon. Uh, so I want to thank you, Lumios, for coming on again twice. First returning guest, super appreciated.
Ooh. I'm special.
You
I
are very
thank you for
special.
having me. I mean, like I said, I feel special being the first to return, and that I love doing this. Fun fact, I'm actually always like telling SB whenever he's like, "Hey, you know, uh, trying to get a guest in order for like next podcast." I'm always like letting him know. Well, if you can't, I can do it. Like I love doing this. So love talking to you, SB. Thank you again for having me on. Thank you all of you guys for checking out my channel, which I know you'll do because you're all great people.
Absolutely. So you'll want to make sure to check out his channel. Lots of cool things coming up. Uh, I'd like to thank Jorge Benes for an amazing theme for the podcast, which you did not hear this week, but it'll be back. It's also on the YouTube channel if you're just like, man, I'd love to listen to just a real great song because it's a super good
It is
intro.
really good.
Little Undertale themes, little Pokemon themes, little fun nostalgia for it.
Yes.
And I want to thank all you listeners that made it this far. We'll be back with another episode in just 2 weeks, so make sure to follow the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out the YouTube channel because there's obviously stuff going on there. Check out Lumios Post's channel. And until then, watch some of our past episodes, and even check out Lumio's Post's Twitter. Most importantly, though, keep loafing around.